Good morning. I'm Ben O'Hara-Byrne with your morning check brought to you by Bathfitter on Vancouver Island. Here's what you need to know to get started on this Friday, September the 20th. A day of action on climate change is being marked around the globe today, with millions of people expected to take part in rallies and demonstrations, including here on Vancouver Island. Huge crowds have already hit the streets today, beginning in Australia and in Asia, as well as in Europe. Students across Canada will be joining them later today in staging rallies to call for greater action to fight climate change. The strike and the marches are all ahead of the United Nations Climate Action Summit next week in New York. Events in Victoria today, including one that begins at 2 p.m. with a march down Government Street from Wharf to Belleville in front of the BC Legislature. That will continue well until the evening. Well, on the federal election campaign trail today, Liberal leader Justin Trudeau will make an announcement in Toronto this morning. His message may once again get derailed by a scandal over black and brown face makeup. The Liberal leader has apologized twice in 2 days after 3 incidents came to light. The latest from a video shot in the early 1990s showing Trudeau covered in black makeup. The impact of the scandal is being felt by local Liberal candidates on Vancouver Island, experts say. They believe it could be detrimental, but the candidate for Victoria says she's not worried about how it will affect her chances. Vic PD continues to search for a suspect this morning after a stabbing incident near the Selkirk Trestle late yesterday afternoon. One person was taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries. It all happened around 3:50 p.m. on the 300 block of Waterfront Crescent on the Galloping Goose Trail. No word on a possible motive or a suspect description for now from police. The motorcyclist killed in a crash Monday in Saanich has been identified as 19-year-old Danny Schipbach. The 2018 Reynolds High graduate died when he was hit by a car at Cumberland and Union. The driver of that vehicle is also a Reynolds student. He's being investigated for dangerous operation of a motor vehicle causing death. A memorial will be held for Schipbach on Monday afternoon.
If the occupant had not been woken up by that smoke detector, this fire could have become a major structure fire.
A working smoke detector may have saved lives in a stove fire in an apartment near Beacon Hill Park in Victoria yesterday. Firefighters were called to the unit on Vancouver Street and found smoke pouring out of the rear of the building. Officials say the occupant fell asleep with a pot on the stove, was woken up by the alarm to find the pot on fire. He was taken to hospital to be treated for smoke inhalation and minor burns. The Ministry of Agriculture here in BC says it will preserve the bodies of invasive Asian giant hornets found in a nest in Nanaimo to try to figure out where exactly they're coming from. The underground nest was discovered and destroyed Wednesday. The giant hornets are huge. They can be up to 5 centimeters long with a wingspan of 7 centimeters. They feed on insects. Most importantly, they're capable of destroying a honeybee hive in a very short period of time. Well, Apple CEO Tim Cook threw open the doors of the company's flagship store in New York this morning as the new iPhone 11 went on sale. It's estimated about 600 to 700 customers waited in line to be the first ones to pick up the latest gadget. 2 models hit shelves in Canada today as well. The iPhone 11 starts at about $979. The larger 11 Pro Max is about $1,400. Well, in sports, the Rugby World Cup kicks off today in Japan, and Langford-based Team Canada has arrived in the country 1 week ahead of an opening match against Italy. Here's a look at the welcome Team Canada received in Japan. This is from a local TV station. The team has been holding their training camp in Nagano and thanked the community for its support. Hosts Japan beat Russia in the tournament opener today. And if video games are more your thing, here's a blast from the past. Sega is bringing out a mini version of the Genesis, inspired by the original that made its debut 30 years ago. It's also bringing back some classic games you may recognize, such as Sonic the Hedgehog. It comes with 42 games pre-installed and 2 very simple-looking controllers. You can even plug it in right into your TV, just like the old days. Well, best to get outside today, though. The forecast is calling for a mix of sun and cloud on the South Island, clearing and warm on the Mid-Island, a 30% chance of drizzle on the West Coast, and a mix of sun and cloud on the North Island today. And there are your Friday highs. Well, we always love to know where you're watching from. Don't forget to like and share the CHEK Facebook page. That's been your morning check for this Friday, brought to you by Bathfitter. Have a great weekend. I'm Ben O'Hara-Byrne.